Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty cool stuff to go talk about over here. Number one, we actually have a really good court document. There's actually really good news over here for PlayStation and Xbox users, I would go and say. We have Phil Spencer himself breaking the silence as well, going with his own public statements. We have some pretty big PlayStation news with some big CEOs stepping down, and there's a lot of other various things as well kind of coming on throughout, kind of just a lot of big news days. So if you guys will stay to relax and enjoy, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Samsung HAL link down below if you guys want to save $50. With Amazon links down below, especially for Prime Day 2 as well. Sorry about the cough. We also have the Twitter and Twitch down below. We'll be hanging out on Twitch if you guys are bored, and let's dive into the video itself. So as you guys do or do not know, it seems like we have some really good news when it comes to the FTC. It does not mean 100% that the deal is going to be going through, but it's very likely now at this point. And with that, we actually have a little bit of like a sidestep news, which is number one, good for PlayStation as well, especially in the future of Call of Duty, and two, once again, some Phil Spencer mentions it. So let's go talk about the good old CEO stating today on Twitter, "We're grateful to the court for swiftly deciding in our favor. The evidence showed that Activision Blizzard deal is good for the industry, and the FTC claims about console switching, multi-game subscription services, and cloud don't reflect the realities of the gaming market. Since we first announced this deal, our commitment to bringing more games to more people on more devices has only grown. We signed multiple party agreements to make Activision Blizzard games, Xbox's first-party games, and Game Pass games all available to more players than they are today." Now, I'm going to want to break down this a lot. We know that players around the world have been watching this case closely, and I'm proud of our efforts to expand player access and choice throughout this journey. And this actually went pretty viral too. The initial statement has around 2 million views. We'll probably get a lot more throughout the next few days as more people talk about it and bring that up. But a few kind of good things to know is that they have said on court record, so they have to truly go and trust it, that they do not want to go take Call of Duty away, at least as of right this second, and they still have that 10-year plus-ish or so deal that they've been working on. And then as well, they also want to probably go and expand the stuff up to things like Steam, or even more like NVIDIA streaming, or their various types of streaming platforms too as well, depending on what kind of deals they can go and strike and everything else in between. The initial deal was supposed to get PlayStation off of Call of Duty, but for the next 10 years or so, if they can still make it happen, everything should be going very well. And one thing I want to go and highlight a little bit more on this one is that throughout the FTC, and this is like why it's the good news over here, the FTC trial, nearly 1 million documents couldn't actually catch Xbox saying that its goal was to make Call of Duty exclusive throughout this deal happening. Now, the Call of Duty has really been the big thing, and we've seen them go on record stating this, but this is like big. This is more so of like in proper legal court in dealing with the proper government, such as the FTC and the CMA. So this is like big legality stuff. All of them are on record right now stating, hey, like we are not going to make Call of Duty exclusive, which is good for PlayStation users, and in theory might actually go and, well, kind of maintain the status quo at least for a little while. There might be a few things that change, but I think more of that's more front-facing for Sony rather than consumers. I think consumers are hopefully still, and we'll have to see. Like, we never know what might happen in 2, 3, 5, 6, 10 years or so, but it does kind of seem like that's more of Sony's problem rather than everything else. Because if you think about it, you have PlayStation with millions of users, and they take away Call of Duty. Number one, those people are going to be upset. And number two, if they have both consoles, PlayStation and Xbox, which is a crossover overlap, they also might be upset, or also think PS5 and PC users, etc., could always have an issue with that. But at least on here, this is really good news for PlayStation users, stating that they will not make this game exclusive. This is from like at dispositions, so basically people on court record stating they will not do this, as well as also people just in general, like all these legal documents. So there was like, no, we saw a few leaked emails and a few other various things that popped out, but there wasn't any email from Phil Spencer saying, we're going to destroy Sony, no Call of Duty ever. And I think Call of Duty and some of the other various games, such as like Overwatch, are very big critique things that people want to be on top of and know what's going on. So the heart of the ongoing multiple legal challenges of Xbox's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, one core theme has cropped up again and again. Will Xbox take Call of Duty exclusivity if the deal's done? So Xbox has repeatedly said no, both verbally and in writing, and the writing is the more important part. And according to a judge in the recent FTC versus Microsoft trial, the attitude has been consistent too as well, even through these like leaks and all these basically like crossed out documents that have been mentioned. So as of today, the Federal Trade Commission moved on the preliminary injunction on the merger, which once again does not mean it's fully happening, but looks very good as well with the FTC kind of losing the case. And as well as also kind of nice because they saved them a few extra months as well. So in this ruling, she revealed that Xbox is remarkably consistent, even internally, about the Call of Duty plans. There are no internal documents emails, or chats contradicting Microsoft's stated intent not to make Call of Duty exclusive to Xbox consoles, reads a section of the ruling. Despite the completion of extension discovery in the FTC's administrative proceedings, including production of nearly 1 million documents and 30 dispositions, the FTC has not identified a single document which contradicts Microsoft's publicly stated commitment to make Call of Duty available on PlayStation and even the Switch, or more likely, the Switch 2. Now, once again, this is good news. This is huge news. So Xbox representatives have been empathetic in public on this point, with Xbox head Phil Spencer going as far as to testify under oath last month, which adds a lot of extra merit to his comments. If for some odd reason he lies, and for some odd reason he's like, they go against this, in proper court documents, he has stated he is going to do this. So basically, like, he basically can't go and say 3 months after the acquisition's done and be like, haha, Call of Duty is everywhere. Because in legal court documents, that means he was testifying under oath, like under God, under principle, under one constitution, whatever, that he will not do this. So this is basically like, this is like the highest level of, well, sworn oath, because it's in court. There's timestamps of it, there's recordings of it, and basically this is like breaking the law more so if he doesn't do it. So this all mean he basically means he doesn't want to take away Call of Duty from PlayStation, which is good. But often companies will say one thing publicly and another thing privately. So surprising that in nearly 1 million pieces of internal documentation, including emails, Slack chats, etc., that legally had to be turned over to the court for the case, not once did Xbox executives say anything that could have been interpreted as a plan to take Call of Duty exclusive, which likely explains why Sony Interactive Entertainment head Jim Ryan was so confident in his own internal communications that we will continue to see Call of Duty on PlayStation for many years to come. That was also good for PlayStation users, maybe 10 years from now, who knows, but that is kind of the ongoing deal. They may have a maybe slightly better deal as well, maybe long term, or maybe they could be like, let's just keep it forever, maybe take an extra 2%, we'll see what happens. But either way, this kind of does go and drive a fire underneath PlayStation to make hopefully more of their own individual games to maybe go take money away from it. So Judge Corley just denied the FTC's requested injunction, clearing the way for the Xbox Activision deal to go through next week. So a hearing will still take place in August, but the FTC faces an even more challenging battle to fight the merger, given they're now likely have to undo an already merged company if it finds the deal to be anti-competitive. So basically, like I said, it's pretty much ongoing. There's a few small hiccups, but it kind of keeps on leaning towards it will most likely happen. Like it's like one of those things where the train's already rolling. It might stop. It might like completely crash off course, but it's probably going to be going through as well. So yeah, they went to court. There's a lot of different reveals. A lot of big documents actually came out too as well. But it does kind of seem like this all around went pretty good. They did not feel like this game was anti-competitive. They said that they have no love for console exclusives. And in theory, like if Xbox actually becomes like the golden like Archer of the world, we could actually maybe see the gaming world getting better. But at the same time, if you have too much power, like in a company like Microsoft, you get a new CEO, you get some other board members or whatever it might be 20 years down the road, it can be a little bit more scary as time kind of goes on. But either way, it does kind of seem like this is all around pretty good. Now, we still have to worry about the CMA as of right this second. The CMA still can go and block it, although once again, this deal is looking pretty good. And if the FTC somehow loses in proper court, that doesn't really mean too much as well. So it does kind of seem like the regulators are pushing for this just in general. Last but not least, we actually had a pretty big drop down from PlayStation 2, where the co-president Neil Druckmann shares an update on Naughty Dog's new studio leadership team. So the following message was shared with the Naughty Dog team earlier today as well. So today, Evan Wells announced after 25 years at Naughty Dog, he'll be retiring at the end of this year. Well, he will very much be a part of the studio leadership team until his departure, and basically saying, hey, we spent the last couple of years building up different leadership structures and people we trust to reflect the growing team and make sure everything's all set up. And as Evan has pointed out, our goal has led to immense and steady growth. With that kind of success and size comes the need to reevaluate how we structure a studio leadership team as well. So basically, at present, they have like a co-head studio with Evan Wells, and they have all these other various companies too as well, and people trying to grow up the company. But at the same time, we're now getting a few more different folks. So they're kind of just giving a nice little shout out to all the new people as well, trying to go and say like, hey, like we had a good run, like we had a good stuff. After 25 years, they either want to move on or go and retire and just kind of do something else, which is all around totally fine. But it's kind of nice whenever people know. We have another 6 months to kind of get people caught up to speed and get promotions going and everything else that you need to. And I think at the end of the day, I think it's a very nice thing to see. So we are seeing some big company drama with Phil Spencer coming on out and saying all his comments. But I do think at the end of the day, this deal is looking like it's pretty much likely to go through. And I'm going to be very curious to see what the future of gaming will look like. There's a lot of different things like say for Game Pass and other various types of things as well that could be changed a lot. We really don't necessarily know because we've never really seen too many $70 billion mergers and deals as time's gone on. So hopefully Xbox and Microsoft will stay true to their word. Hopefully they'll make sure everything goes good, and we'll keep on giving you guys updates on this case because it's been very juicy drama. A lot of stuff keeps on coming out, a lot of details keep on happening, and I like having a chance to go and see it myself. So I want to hear your thoughts and comments all down below. We made a more in-depth video if you guys want to watch it as well. Make sure you guys definitely go check out the Samsung links down below for the brand new $50 promotion going on if you guys want to sign up with no commitment needed. We have the Amazon links down below for the consoles if you guys want to check out the Amazon Prime Day deals. Leave a like, your thoughts down below, and of course check out the Twitter and Twitch stream if you guys want to hang out and chill. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.